Okay, Shalom Akim, Kahala Imla Yaba Shimya Shaba Shaka Kudash, and double on Instagram and apostles. Follow the Alpha, the Chef for the strength in order to make this video. And Yara Tazada also edified by it as well, man. But just getting straight to the point, this is the part 2 to the other video that I made, the modern day example of Jonah's experience. So this is the part 2 for that, man. So I'm gonna just begin by playing out this video, and then we're gonna read Jonah chapter 2. Because, the end of chapter 1, let's see if I still got that. At the end of chapter 1, it says in verse 17, now the Lord Yahweh had prepared a great fish. So, of course, he knew beforehand. He put the spirit within the fish in order to swallow up Jonah. He said he had prepared a great fish, a whale, to swallow up Jonah. And Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. So, he was there, man, in that soggy, saliva filled interior of the fish, man. Getting quite descriptive here. But yeah, let's continue with this video.
Was 2 seconds until I got to the surface.
Adrian, you talk about feeling something slimy, and then it actually sounds like you're describing maybe what the mouth of the whale looked like when you talk about the gray and blue. Did you realize in those moments where you were, that you were actually inside the whale's mouth?
I guessed I was inside something's mouth, but I didn't know it was a whale.
What? I can't even imagine. It's only a few seconds, but what could have been going through your mind? I mean, did you realize in that moment? I mean, if someone says to you, "What does it feel like to be inside a whale?" There really isn't anyone else on this planet that can answer that question. What was it like?
It was just a second, but it felt like more time, because I was thinking a lot of stuff. I remembered about Pinocchio, everyone saying that, Pinocchio, and Gepetto.
Yes.
And it was surprising. I wasn't expecting that at all. So at first I thought that I would die, because there's nothing I can do if I'm inside the mouth of a giant fish.
Well, realistically, there is something you could do. But as if, Israelites knew their power. We simply to pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Babakasha, Babakasha. Babakasha means please. And then Azaria. Azar means help. Azaria means help me. This is even a simple prayer like that. You have full on faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And then, keep the faith, and then he will help you, man. That's what could have been done. But of course, nowadays, Israelites are in a sick state of mind, and also are deluded as well with the philosophies of this world. So that would have been the right action to have. But nevertheless, fortunately for him, he was just used as a major example, man. That, of course, the Most High can do this anytime, man. So consider that a mercy as well from the Most High Yahweh upon him as well. So, yeah, man, he got swallowed up by a fish to be an example that, yes, he did do this with Jonah the prophet. So, let's continue on.
But, it was a whale, so then I didn't have enough time to realize that I was not in danger. If the whale had hit me, it would be more dangerous.
Del, you were there. Those few seconds must have felt like interminable to you, but you were filming the whole thing. Why were you filming to begin with? I mean, it's incredible this was actually caught on camera.
Sí, nosotros estábamos remando en ese momento
por la Bahía del Águila. Well, we were at the Aguila Bay, and we were doing very well in our pack craft. And when we have good weather, everything's fine. And when we got past the bay, we wanted to make a photo. And then a few waves started rising. And so we were very excited. And I have a camera, selfie stick, 360 degree camera. And I started recording it, and I was sort of just rowing. And afterwards, I switched on the recorder, and in 2 seconds, I heard this incredible wave behind me.
Don't get me wrong as well, man. Even just because I've had a little bit of experience, back in my school days, younger days in school, secondary school. In America, you know it as high school, where I've had experience with actually rowing, man. Even in just a little lake, the depth of the water is actually, it can be quite a fearsome thing, man. So hearts would have been pumping, man, back in the day of Jonah, man. Hearts would have been pumping. Now imagine kayaking in the ocean as well. You gotta have a certain spirit about you, spirit of strength about you to be able to do that stuff, man. I remember rowing one time. If you lean too much to the left or right, you could get flipped over. Fortunately, that almost happened to me, but through the spirit of Yahweh Shim Yashai, he guided me, man. And this was way before the truth as well. So the Most High has had mercy upon us, even without us being aware of him as well. That's the thing. So you got fear, you got faith in that type of power. So yeah, that's just a little thing of my own experience on rowing on the water. It can be quite a fearful thing, but of course, you gotta have a spirit of strength when you do that type of stuff. But nevertheless, he was an example, man. He was an example. Now, I mentioned about praying, being a result of what the guy should have done whilst he was there. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, maybe it was the fear, maybe some adrenaline that was happening, because he said he thought he was going to die. But this was Jonah's response. Now, let's get to the part 2, chapter 2. Jonah 2 and verse 1, as it's named here, the chapter is named Jonah's Prayer. And that was why he was saved from the fish. So Jonah 2 and 1, that then Jonah prayed unto Yahweh his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto Yahweh, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell, which means destruction. It ain't talking about a fireplace where souls burn. No way. Now it says out of the belly of hell, that's referring to a mind state of a lowly mindset, a mindset of destruction, a mindset of suffering. It says, cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So of course he was praying deep unto Yahweh, man. And he says, verse 3, for thou hast cast me into the deep, in the midst of the seas, and the floods compassed me. All thy billows and thy waves passed over me. It says, then said I am cast out of thy sight, yet I will look again towards thy holy temple. The waters compassed me about, even to the soul. The depth closed me around about, and the weeds were wrapped about my head. So Jonah's experience, it was describing his experience, man, in the belly, man, of the fish as well. Now it says, I went down to the bottoms of the mountains, the earth with her bars was about me forever. Yet hast thou brought up my life from corruption, O Lord Yahweh, my power. When my soul fainted within me, I remembered the Lord Yahweh, my prayer came in unto thee, into thine holy temple. They that observe lying vanities forsake their own mercy, but I will, which comes of Yahweh, the mercy comes of Yahweh. Verse 9, but I will sacrifice unto thee with the voice of thanksgiving, and I'll pay that I have vowed. Salvation is of the Lord Yahweh. And of course, in today's day and age, is of Yahweh Shai, really. So of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. Hence why we say Yahweh in the name Yahweh Shai. Because that's how we'll go and get salvation, man. Verse 10, and the Lord Yahweh spake unto the fish, and it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land. So, you know, again, the Most High controls all spirits, man. Animals, humans, all sorts of creatures, he controls them. From the little ones to the big ones. As it says that the Lord spake unto the fish, man. So the Most High, of course, made the fish to spit out Jonah once and for all. And it vomited out Jonah upon the dry land, man. Yeah. So that's what got Jonah out of that situation. Prayer. That's the thing. Like, again, this was just a minor example of what the Most High, well, I say minor example. This was just a reminder of what the Most High could do, man. Hence why I'm bringing out the prophet Jonah.
And when I turned around, I couldn't see Adrian anymore. Or his boat. So I was absolutely terrified and knew that, you know, something was up. And then I saw him emerge to the surface. And then something huge came up by the side of him. And of course it was the...
Yeah, that's really the point right there, man. That's really the point right there. But let me get 2 more presets and afterwards I'm going to close it out, man. Because really the main part was mentioned within part 1 of this video. But the Most High, when he calls us to do something, you know, Yaratazar, we got to do it, man. That's really the point. Because of course, you know, Jonah was in a state where he probably was feeling kind of fearful to preach it in Nineveh, man. The wickedness there. And, you know, you can't really blame it too much because, like, preaching onto Jake, oftentimes they be hard-headed, man. Vain confidence, that's the thing. You know, arrogant. It'd be hard to flipping talk to them. That's when Ezekiel 3 talks about whether they hear or forbid. Just go preach onto them, man. Let me get that specific verse. And it says here, I want to get that specific verse, man. Whether they hear or forbid, or something along those lines. You know what? I'll read from verse 7. Ezekiel 3 and 7. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. That's why, you know, Jonah probably would have felt that impudence and hard-heartedness from Israelites, man. But, you know, at the end of the prayer, you know, he repented in Jonah chapter 2. And then he went to go preach to Nineveh, man, chapter 3. So it says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint, have I made thy forehead, fear them not. So of course, the point is to not have any fear against these people, man. Really, they ought to fear the prophets more. Well, the people, Israelites, again, they're in a sick state of mind. That's why they don't fear Yahweh Shem Yashai and even the messengers themselves. So, but of course, the point is they don't fear Yahweh Shem. That's why they don't listen to the message. Now, fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. So, of course, you know, whether they hear it or they forbear it, again, that's verse 11. I'll skip on to verse 11. Ezekiel 3 and 11. And go get thee to them of the captivity unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and say, and tell them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Most High, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So even if they listen or not listen, just tell them. That's what the Most High Yahweh was saying there. Now I want to get this though. Ezekiel 3 and 17, because the Most High Yahweh has called us to be a prophet, to be a watchman unto Israel. In the same way he called Jonah to go and preach unto Nineveh. So that's what we're doing right now. Ezekiel 3 and 17, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Simple as that. And that's our responsibility. You can't run away from it either, man. When the Most High says we got to do something, we got to do it. And we got to pray for strength so that we keep doing it until, the very end, man, which is going to be the point of salvation. Of course, up to the famine of the word, really. And the narrative is that we maintain faith in Yahweh Yahushua during the time of Jacob's trouble as well, which the famine of the word is going to happen within that time as well. All right, so final precept, because, we got Yahweh called us to be watchmen. And of course, Yahushua has chosen us out of this world as well. And that's why we've been awakened to this truth. And we get this. So John 15 and 16, ye have not chosen me. So this is Yahushua speaking, hence why it's in red letters. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. So of course, that's why we say Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. We always say Yahweh Ratazah, which means Father's will, that we're able to get to the kingdom as well, man. Or whenever we make a certain prayer, we say Yahweh Ratazah. Or sometimes we may say Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua Ratazah, man. But ultimately, it's the Father's will, but we get to the Father through Yahushua, because he's the one who chose us. He's our mediator. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off there. The guy. This was a little experience on that, man. Now let me show you again through the shorts of that Jonah experience that this Jake had, man. This Israelite had, because it's from Chile. You have Israelites over there as well, man.
I guessed I was inside something's mouth.
A father captured the moment his son was briefly swallowed by a humpback whale.
¡Hey! ¡Ya, vente, vente! Tranquilo, agarra el bote, agárralo, tranquilo, agárralo.
Del Seaman-Cass caught the incredible encounter while on a hybrid trekking and paddling trip with his son Adrian off the Chilean Patagonia.
Cuando pongo la cámara, escucho como si reventara una ola fuerte detrás de mí. Y me pareció extraño que una ola reventara así. Y cuando volteo no veo a Adrián. No veo a Adrián ni a su packraft. Entonces en ese momento me preocupé.
Sentí un golpe que venía desde atrás, que me levantaba un poco. Pensé que podía ser una ola, pero era demasiado fuerte. Entonces cuando volteo siento en mi cara una textura como babosa. Alcanzo a ver colores como azul oscuro, blanco. Algo que se aproxima desde atrás y que me cierra y me hunde. Y en ese momento pensé que ya no podía hacer nada, que ya iba a morir.
Como a los 3 segundos veo que sale disparado hacia la superficie y sale el packraft después de él. Y después veo una aleta o una parte de un cuerpo de algo.
That's spiritual as well. It said 3 seconds later, man. That's a minuscule time period compared to 3 days. 3, man. 3 represents understanding. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. Yaratazar, that you've been edified. And I'll leave it at that, man. Shalom, Yahbashim, Yashab, Brakatha.